Political commentator and former NDP leader Tom Mulcair. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning, Marcia.
What a tough day for this country, and tough for leaders, because they know that we are all turning to them and looking for words of comfort and also wondering what sort of support will be coming. Can you speak to the difficulty of being in a position like that right now when there are so many unanswered questions?
It is difficult because, as you say, the public is just wanting to know who, how, why. But I think that both Prime Minister Carney and Opposition Leader Poilievre hit exactly the right tone. It was simply talking to the tragedy, to the mourning of the families and of the community, showing empathy. And I think that that sort of care is the exact right message. You mentioned that Prime Minister Carney was showing a fair bit of emotion, and it was very obvious and clearly heartfelt. It is something that is inexplicable. Young people in the prime of their life being cut down by another human being for reasons that we can only guess at right now. So, yeah, I think that everybody is showing exactly what the priority is. The idea of putting all the flags of Canadian government buildings at half-staff is a very good one. It's a symbolic one, but it's a way of showing that we're all mourning together.
And the Prime Minister delaying his trip to Munich, we learned that overnight. We also learned from the PM in that statement that they will be making a statement in the House of Commons. So what will you be watching for in the House?
Well, on the first point, I think that it's so important to get out ahead of that and not have to be asked the question, because it's obvious that the Prime Minister was not going to be traveling to a foreign country, even if it was an important security conference. Everything becomes a question of priorities, and you have to show what your priority is. Here, clearly, for the Prime Minister, his priority was what happened here in Canada, this mass shooting, and staying home and being there to reassure people. With regard to the second point, the speech in the House, it is an occasion, it's a very solemn affair. Party leaders get a chance to stand up, and we'll measure a little bit where their priorities are. You know, this is against a backdrop where there's, right now, on a political level, a big debate going on about guns in Parliament. You know, do you bring in new rules? Do you buy back the ones that don't meet the new standards? What do you do about assault-style weapons? What's reassuring to me is that there wasn't even the beginning of a hint of a conversation of any of that in the reactions we just saw. Will there be the beginning of a hint of a mention of it in the House, talking about needing to do everything we can to fight against this type of event, to prevent it, to do everything that we can to make sure this never happens in another high school or anywhere else in Canada? Maybe. And that has to be done in perfect measure. Otherwise, someone will be able to say, no, look, they're trying to politicize this and take advantage of it. But for now, I think the people across Canada, you know, Pierre Poilievre said it well. He said, as a dad, he can't even imagine what it's like to get that phone call. Yeah. And I think that across the country, people are feeling the same way.
Yeah, heartbreak and hell, as he described it. And it's worth noting, as you talk about the guns, I should also mention to our viewers, we don't even know what weapons were involved yet, and that is one of the many unanswered questions that we have in the hours after the shooting. Tom, we're going to leave it there for this morning. I'm really glad that you could be with us. Tom Mulcair, we'll talk to you again soon.
All the best, Marcia.
You too, my friend.